Carthage, a name that echoes through history, evokes images of a powerful empire, fierce battles, and a civilization lost. This ancient city, with its rich history and strategic prowess, has left an indelible mark on the annals of time. Founded in the 9th century BC, this Phoenician colony emerged from humble beginnings to become a dominant force in the ancient Mediterranean. The settlers, hailing from the bustling city of Tyre, brought with them a wealth of knowledge and maritime expertise. Its location on the coast of modern-day Tunisia was no accident. Positioned on a peninsula jutting into the sea, Carthage held a strategic advantage for trade and defence. The natural geography provided a formidable barrier against potential invaders, while also offering easy access to the vast Mediterranean. This prime location allowed the Carthaginians to control vital sea routes, connecting them to the riches of the Mediterranean world. The city's influence extended far and wide, reaching the shores of Europe, Africa, and the Near East. From this strategic stronghold, Carthage expanded its influence. The city-state grew not just through trade, but also through military might and strategic alliances. Its leaders were adept at navigating the complex political landscape of the ancient world. The city's natural harbour, a sheltered haven for its mighty fleet, became a bustling hub of maritime activity. Ships from all corners of the Mediterranean docked here, unloading exotic goods and taking on Carthaginian exports. Carthaginian ships, renowned for their speed and maneuverability, sailed the Mediterranean, carrying goods, news, and the city's growing reputation far and wide. These vessels were a testament to Carthaginian ingenuity and craftsmanship. The world took notice as Carthage, the jewel of the Mediterranean, rose in power and prosperity. Its markets were filled with goods from distant lands, and its streets buzzed with the activity of merchants and traders. This strategic location was not merely about geography, it was about opportunity. Carthage's leaders understood the importance of leveraging their position to maximize their influence and wealth. Carthage capitalized on its position to forge a maritime empire, connecting distant lands and cultures through trade. The city's ships were a common sight in ports across the Mediterranean, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. The city's wealth grew, fueled by the exchange of goods and the ingenuity of its people. Carthaginian merchants were known for their shrewdness and ability to negotiate favorable deals. Carthage's story is a testament to the power of location, ambition, and a keen understanding of the sea. Its rise to prominence was no accident, but the result of strategic planning, maritime prowess, and a relentless drive for success. The legacy of Carthage continues to inspire and intrigue, a reminder of a time when the Mediterranean was the center of the world. Carthage's rise to prominence was deeply intertwined with its mastery of the seas. The city's strategic location on the North African coast allowed it to control key maritime routes, making it a hub of commerce and navigation, and its unparalleled trading network. Carthage's ports were always bustling with activity, as ships from various parts of the world docked to unload their precious cargo. The Carthaginians were shrewd merchants, their ships laden with goods from the farthest reaches of the known world. They traded in everything from everyday necessities to luxury items, ensuring that their markets were always well stocked. From the shores of Spain, they brought silver and tin. These metals were highly sought after and played a crucial role in the economic prosperity of Carthage. The fertile plains of Sicily provided grain, which was essential for feeding the growing population of Carthage and its colonies. While the forests of Lebanon yielded valuable cedar wood, this wood was not only used for building ships but also for constructing impressive buildings and temples. These goods, along with textiles, pottery, and exquisite crafts, flowed through Carthage's bustling port, transforming the city into a melting pot of cultures and a center of immense wealth. The diversity of goods and people created a vibrant and dynamic society. This vast trading empire was not built solely on the backs of merchants. The success of Carthage's trade was also due to the efficient administration and the strategic alliances they formed with other powerful entities. Carthage boasted a powerful navy, the envy of the Mediterranean. This navy was not just a defensive force, but also a tool for expanding Carthage's influence and protecting its commercial interests. Its warships, manned by skilled sailors and armed with fearsome rams, protected its trade routes and projected its power. These ships were a formidable presence on the seas, deterring potential threats and ensuring the safety of Carthaginian merchants. This maritime dominance allowed Carthage to establish colonies and trading posts across the Mediterranean, from the Iberian Peninsula to the islands of the Aegean Sea. Each colony served as a vital link in the vast network of trade routes. The Carthaginians' success was also due to their advanced shipbuilding techniques and their understanding of the winds and currents. Their shipbuilders were among the best in the ancient world, constantly innovating to create faster and more durable vessels. They developed the bireme, a warship with 2 rows of oars, which provided speed and maneuverability in naval battles. This innovation gave them a significant advantage in both trade and warfare. Their knowledge of navigation allowed them to navigate the open seas with confidence, expanding their reach and influence far beyond their rivals. They used the stars, the sun, and the patterns of the waves to guide their journeys. Carthage's economic model, however, differed significantly from the land-based empires of its time. While others relied heavily on military conquest, Carthage focused on creating a stable and prosperous trading network. While other powers focused on conquest and tribute, Carthage built its empire on trade, diplomacy, and mutually beneficial relationships. They negotiated treaties and formed alliances that ensured the flow of goods and the stability of their trade routes. This approach, though less overtly aggressive, proved remarkably effective, allowing Carthage to amass wealth and power without the constant drain of large-scale military campaigns. The city's wealth was reflected in its grand architecture, public works, and the luxurious lifestyle of its citizens. As Carthage's influence expanded, it inevitably drew the attention of another rising power in the Mediterranean, Rome. Carthage, with its vast trading network and powerful navy, had become a dominant force in the western Mediterranean. Its wealth and influence were unmatched, and its strategic position allowed it to control key maritime routes. Initially, the 2 states coexisted, their spheres of influence largely separate. Rome, still consolidating its power on the Italian peninsula, had little interest in maritime dominance. Carthage, on the other hand, was primarily focused on expanding its trade networks and securing its naval supremacy. Rome, a land-based power, focused on consolidating its hold on the Italian peninsula, while Carthage's gaze remained fixed on the sea and the riches it held. The 2 powers, though aware of each other, had little reason for direct conflict in these early stages. However, as both empires grew, their ambitions began to overlap, setting the stage for a clash of civilizations that would reshape the ancient world. The expansionist policies of Rome began to encroach upon territories that Carthage considered within its sphere of influence. The island of Sicily, strategically situated in the center of the Mediterranean, became a focal point of contention. Its location made it a valuable asset for controlling maritime trade routes and projecting power across the region. Both Carthage and Rome recognized its strategic importance, its fertile plains offering a source of grain and its harbors providing control over vital trade routes. The island's resources and strategic position made it a prize neither power could afford to lose. Skirmishes and proxy wars erupted as both powers sought to expand their influence over the island, each victory fueling suspicion and resentment on both sides. These conflicts, though small in scale, were indicative of the larger struggle for dominance that was brewing. Adding to the tensions was the fundamental difference in the 2 states' ideologies and societal structures. Rome's republican ideals and citizen army stood in stark contrast to Carthage's mercantile empire and reliance on hired soldiers. Rome, with its republican ideals and citizen army, viewed Carthage's mercantile empire and reliance on mercenaries with suspicion and a degree of disdain. The Roman Senate often debated the threat posed by Carthage, while Carthaginian leaders were equally wary of Rome's growing influence. Carthage, for its part, saw Rome's growing power as a threat to its own dominance in the region. The Carthaginian leadership understood that Rome's ambitions were not limited to the Italian peninsula and that their own territories could be at risk. The stage was set for a clash of ideologies, a battle between a republic striving for expansion and a thalassocracy determined to protect its interests. The ideological divide between the two powers only served to heighten the tensions and make conflict seem inevitable. The signing of treaties meant to ease tensions only delayed the inevitable. These agreements were often seen as temporary measures, with both sides preparing for the possibility of future conflict. Each incident, each perceived slight, pushed the two powers closer to the brink of war. Diplomatic efforts were frequently undermined by military actions and provocations, leading to a cycle of retaliation and escalation. The simmering rivalry between Rome and Carthage, fueled by mistrust and ambition, would eventually boil over, igniting a series of conflicts that would determine the fate of the Mediterranean world. These wars, known as the Punic Wars, would be some of the most significant and destructive conflicts of the ancient world, shaping the course of history